Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. I forgot to pull my mic out. I'm doing it right now. So, dang, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. It's the weekend, right? Oh my gosh, what a magical day it's been for me. Holy majoli. It's been a great day. So I thought, we'll get a small chapter in here. It's just a little chapter, but we'll get it in. We're gonna dive in to the Path of Alchemy, Energetic Healing, and World of Natural Magic by Mark Stavish. And we're reading chapter 5 today, which is entitled Water Distillation. So our chapter overview is 1. The water in alchemy, 2. Psychic experiments with water, and 3. Distillation of water and water experiments. All right, off we go now. Water is a key element in alchemy, both metaphysically when we speak of the elements and as an essential tool of the work. The primary power of water is in assisting the creation of forms for the expression of consciousness, providing nutrition for their continued existence, and physical purification. Water achieves the first two goals by acting as a conduit for higher, more intense psychic energy. We stated earlier that energy can only be transferred from one body to another in a liquid state. Blood transfers physical and psychic nutrition to the organs of the body. Endocrine secretions transfer specialized orders for the body's health and well being, and sexual fluids transfer the very essence of life. Plus, yeah, cerebrospinal fluid. Yeah, okay. This fundamental idea of energy transfer through liquids applies to vapor as well. It is in vapor form that liquids are distilled and thereby separated for purification. We also said that when a liquid tincture is being distilled, the energy part of it, the mercury or alcohol, is highly susceptible to energetic influences. Alchemists take advantage of this receptive state, combing it with the astral influences of planetary hours and their own consciousness as participant in the process, thereby increasing the energy level of the tincture. Boom. However, water is very fragile as an energy transfer and storage medium. The energetic changes created in a vapor state hold because of the additions of the sulfur and salt, and in some instances, through the addition of gold or a diluted drop of the alchemist's blood. If it were not for these additional properties, the charged water would quickly dissipate its energy level. This can easily be seen in the rainwater alchemists seek to collect. Rain that is charged in the highly electric atmosphere of April and May, and preferably collected during the lightning storm, is highly prized. The famous prince in the alchemical treatise, how do you say this? Mutus Liber, possibly? Mutusliber, shows alchemists catching the morning dew on sheets and collecting it in wooden, presumably oak, buckets for use in the laboratory. Once collected, it was used quickly before its energy could deteriorate. The healing power of fresh spring dew was also considered very beneficial for skin ailments. Traditional German folk magic encourages walking barefoot on the morning dew to keep the aura healthy and strong. In fact, in the medieval and Renaissance traditions, any water that fell from heaven was considered exceptionally beneficial. Where it landed or how it was collected only added to its uniqueness. Water, snow, or even hail collected during the holy seasons on holy ground, such as a churchyard or cemetery, or inside the hollow of an old oak, were highly sought. The most beneficial of all was water collected on April 1st, or the morning after Walpurgis Nacht, N-A-C-H-T, knock. I'm not sure. April 1st is tomorrow. Ah! Okay, awesome. Okay. Because of its sacramental nature and use, baptismal water also gained favor in folk practices. It was also believed that you could make holy water by placing written pieces of scripture inside previously unblessed or unconsecrated water that had been collected in the above fashions. Since drawing down the power of the full moon into the chalice of water or wine is a standard Wiccan rite, it is the exposure of crystals, or let's try that again. I'm going to start from the beginning of that. Since drawing down the power of the full moon into a chalice of water or wine is a standard Wiccan rite, it is the exposure, or as is the exposure of crystals, talismans, and mirrors to the rays of the moon, we can presume that it would be advantageous to collect water during the new moon and full moon cycles as well. Plus, that way, welcome in. Plus, I collected some fresh spring water during the that rare planetary alignment. I'm excited about that. And I collected some water during a storm already this spring. I'm excited about that too. Experiments conducted at McGill University in Montreal have demonstrated the ability of individuals to impact the energetic patterns of water and, using it as a medium, transfer those patterns to living organisms. In his groundbreaking work, Vibrational Medicine, Dr. Richard Gerber, MD, describes the work done by Dr. Bernard Grad. The first set of experiments intended to see whether the energy field suggested by aura photography really existed, and if this energy field could be made to assist in healing other human beings. To eliminate the placebo effect, or the patient's own positive belief system in regard to being healed, Grad needed to create a sick patient that had no beliefs. He achieved this by using plants, specifically barley, specifically barley seeds soaked in salt water. Salt water is a known growth retardant. Grad then had self-described healers perform a laying of the hands on the container of saline solution. Lab assistants then placed the barley seeds into a container holding the healer-treated water. Salt water untreated by the healers was used as a control. After soaking in the saline solution, the seeds were placed in incubators and watched for signs of growth or signs of deterioration caused by their exposure to the salt water. The healer-treated water sprouted at a higher rate than those soaked in untreated water, and that, upon planting, they grew to greater height and had higher chlorophyll content. Ooh, Miss Six, me too. It's so juicy. Welcome in. Good to see you. Happy spring. That's awesome. Grad performed this experiment again using psychiatric patients as a variable, and found that water held by severely depressed patients dramatically reduced sprouting and growth rates. Grad's chemical analysis of healer-treated water using infrared it's on two lines. Spectroscopy. Okay, so Grad's chemical analysis of healer-treated water using infrared spectroscopy demonstrated that the surface tension of the water was significantly decreased, along with a decrease in hydrogen bonding compared to untreated water. Therasia, welcome in. Good to see you. Given that our physical bodies are 90% water, the idea that water can be charged with specific emotional and thought patterns that in turn affect other living organisms is a crucial one for practical occultists. Boom. Right? That's why we pray over all of our water, and like Masaru, is that how you say it? Masaru Emoto's work with water molecules. Yeah, praying that the water is being filled with all knowledge, positive and negative, meeting together in like a storm of amazingness. Or whatever you want to pray into it, right? So, psychic experiments with water, alchemy, Kabbalah, and astrology all point to a close relationship between the moon and water. The moon has powerful effects on our aura and, as such, our mental and physical health. The following experiment is beneficial in expanding and strengthening the aura. You can do it frequently, even daily, without any ill effects. In addition, with a few minor variations, it is an experiment that you can do with others, thereby testing the results in an objective fashion. Charging water. Esoteric alchemistic, welcome in. Happy Freya Day. Awesome. Mr. Hugh, good to see everyone. I'm having a great Friday. I'm just having a really great day. The energy is just so high today. I'm so thankful. Charging water. 1. Prepare yourself for meditation with several minutes of slow, deep breathing. 2. Hold a glass of cold water in your hands 6 inches to a foot in front of your solar plexus. Place your fingers and thumb over the rim if possible. 3. Breathe in slowly, hold your breath, and imagine a brilliant bluish white or silver light moving through your arms into the water. Imagine a brilliant sphere of light forming about the glass. Hold this image for a minute or two, and then dismiss it and simply breathe, focusing your breath on the glass as you exhale. 4. Continue breathing in this manner for 3 to 5 minutes, longer if you like, and then drink the water. It can also be poured on houseplants, given to pets, or drunk by another in your household who may be sick. I never did that for my cat before. I'm going to do that. I always sent the good vibrations to my plants, but I don't know if I ever specifically charged their water either. AP, welcome in. Good to see you. Good to meet you. And then 5, record your experiences in your notebook. This experiment is best done in a dark room where your aura may begin to collect and grow brightly around us and your hands. It is best to hold the glass slightly farther out from your body as described, rather than closer in, so that the energy that collects in your solar plexus can be pulled out to charge the water as well. This causes the aura to expand and increase in size, health, and vitality. Dude. Un momento. Okay, I'm back. Hey, cool. Awesome, Andrea. Thank you. I got the feeling that I actually already knew you. Cool. Cool. Excellent. So, charging water with an element. In Initiation into Hermetics by Franz Bardon, 1909 to 1958, a Czech occultist describes how water is charged with the elements and how its taste should change accordingly. Bardon, Bardon, Bardon is one of the leading occult figures of the 20th century, and while authoring only 3 books, he demonstrates a comprehensive knowledge of several occult traditions and gives detailed instructions for their mastery. His works have been used by a variety of occult and esoteric groups, including Wicca, often without acknowledgement. According to Bardon, taste of elementally charged water should change according to the element used, and this charge can be measured using litmus paper. Cool. This experiment is the same as above, except you will use a single element to imbue a specific quality to the water. The more familiar you are with the elements, the greater will be your results. 1. Prepare yourself for meditation with several minutes of slow, deep breathing. 2. Hold a glass of water in your hands, 6 inches to a foot in front of your solar plexus. Place your fingers and thumb over the rim if possible. 3. Breathe in slowly, hold your breath, and imagine a brilliant bluish white or silver light moving through your arms and into the water. Imagine a brilliant sphere of light forming about the glass. Hold this image for a minute or two. 4. Change the image or sensation you are focusing on to the specific element you want to charge the water with. You may combine color with your visualization. However, emotional focus and kinesthetic qualities are most important in this experiment. Hold the image for several minutes and then dismiss it and simply breathe, focusing your breath on the glass as you exhale. 5. Continue breathing in this manner for 3 to 5 minutes, longer if you like, and then drink the water. You may do this experiment in a group and then sample each other's water to see if there is any noticeable change in its texture, taste, or other overall qualities. 6. Record your experiences in your notebook. Kiki, welcome in. Man, this is so cool. I love this exercise. Ooh, charging water with sound. Sound is connected to breath and rhythmic breathing. Without breath, there is no sound. Without controlled and measured breathing, singing and chanting could not be done. Hermeticism is replete with references to the power of sound and to voices, human and divine, to create. The vibrations set in motion by chanting divine names, as well as the vibration set in motion by chanting divine names is well known in Kabbalah and can be easily applied here as well. The Gnostic divine name, IAO, how you say that? Iao, used widely in several Wiccan or Western traditions, is made up completely of vowels, making it ideal for this experiment. Iao. 1. Prepare yourself for meditation with several minutes of slow, deep breathing. 2. Hold a glass of cold water in your hands, 6 inches to a foot in front of your solar plexus. Place your fingers and thumb over the rim if possible. 3. Breathe in slowly. Hold your breath and imagine a brilliant bluish white or silver light moving through your arms and into the water. Imagine a brilliant sphere of light forming about the glass. Hold this image for a minute or two. 4. Hold the image for several minutes and then dismiss it. 5. Breathe in, hold it, and chant. Okay, it's pronounced Ea, Eao, Ea. No, wait. It's E. It's a bunch of E's and A, O, H. Eao, O, Eao. Okay. O, Eao, E. Ooh, I wonder why I picked that note. Okay, so breathe in, hold it, and chant Eao, Eao. Feel the vibration moving through your whole body and out your solar plexus in particular. Pause for a moment when you are done, then repeat the intonation 2 more times. 6. Continue breathing slowly and deeply for 3 to 5 minutes, longer if you like, and then drink the water. You may do this experiment in a group and then sample each other's water to see if there is any noticeable change in its texture, taste, or overall qualities. Or other overall qualities. 7. Record your experiences in your notebook. Wow. Yahweh. Ooh. So cool. All right, so distillation of water. Distilled water is used in alchemy both to make products and to ingest them. While you can purchase distilled water commercially, it is good to get in the habit of making a few ounces in the beginning of your studies so that you can see how the process works. It is also a safe and easy introduction to the techniques of distillation. Equipment needed. The equipment needed is identical to that listed in the previous chapter. Several ounces of tap or spring will be used in place of a tincture. So I'll quick flash these pictures up for you to see what they are from the last chapter. And there's a link to the last chapter in the description too. You're welcome to check that out if you'd like. Here's the other distillation setup that they shared us in the last chapter, or that Mark Stavish shared with us. Juicy. Genevieve, happy Friday. Welcome in. Good to see you. The technique. The technique is identical to that described in the previous chapter. Place the water into the retort, or the large round-bottomed flask. Bring it to a very low boil. Continue until almost all of the water is out of the flask. Trace minerals that were present in the water will be left behind in your flask. Once you have completed distilling a few ounces of water, you may taste it and compare it to commercially prepared distilled water. You can also test both waters with litmus paper to see if there are any comparable changes in your homemade distilled water compared to the store brand. Cool. Scented water and water elixirs. Once you are familiar with the basic technique of distilling water, you can move on to making simple and interesting elixirs and scented waters from herbs. These will not have the same power as spagyric products made from alcohol, but with careful attention to the utilization of planetary hours, they can be made to have a noticeable energetic enhancement above a simple tea or herbal infusion. The power of smell should not be easily dismissed, as it relates to the most ancient and primitive part of our brains and is linked to psychic phenomena of the highest order. The pituitary gland, so critical to psychic functioning and the gateway to spiritual illumination, is situated in the brain at the point above the palate that allows it to be directly affected by breathing. Memory is intimately connected to scent, and despite the degrading of our olfactory senses by excessive use of crude commercially produced products, occultists rely on the power of incense to create immediate changes in their emotional and mental environment for rituals and meditation. An extensive array of emotional and mental associations and ancient memories can easily be brought forth by making a simple pass by the perfume counter in a department store, or taking a morning walk past a church that uses incense. Nothing is stronger at producing emotional evocation than smell. Dude, should we light some incense right now? I didn't even light any before I started today. We're going to do it. I see where I'm at for scented waters. Okay. I got this really awesome incense at this amazing gem shop. This one's called, wow. Okay. So the company is called Divine Purity Apothecary Company, Sacred Space Incense. And these are 15 charcoal sticks. This one's Patience, made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It smells so good. Okay. Plus, I love this round tube it comes in. All right. Yeah, as I lit some of this incense yesterday, it did. It just uplifted my whole space. I was once told never to blow out the end of the incense stick. I don't know if I never do though. I don't know, it's stuck with me. So once I feel like it's all nice and fiery up in there, I just wave it around. Okay. Let's put it in here. Boom. Okay. Excuse me. Peace is the name of your incense. Awesome. You know what, too? Well, I got, what's the other one that I really like to, I think I outdid it though. Oh man. Incense falling. Positive Vibes incense. This is so good. So good that I got a whole like massive package of it. Oh, I haven't burned it in a while. It smells so nice to me. But I have their like variety pack too. Oh, oops. Let me put this back. Okay, got it. Okay, now back to the book. For scented waters, it is important to pick a plant with a copious amount of essential oils. However, if this is not possible, the water-soluble oils that are released can be recouped and collected, or recouped and collected. The amount of oils is small. However, it is the quality and not quantity that we are looking for. In addition to lemon balm, several herbs of importance to the alchemist, because of their attributes of providing for health and life, are sage and juniper berries. And a juniper bough over your front door, it bodes good luck. It brings good luck. Part of this is due to the chemical properties of these plants, but the more important reason is the concentration of specific qualities of life force that result when placing lemon balm and sage under Jupiter and juniper berries under Mars and Aries, although sometimes the Sun. Traditional herbal and alchemical medicine and modern medicine have yet to agree on many things. And before ingesting any herbal product, it is best to consult a healthcare provider who specializes in alternative and natural medicines to ensure that you will not have an allergic reaction. The technique. Your Highness, welcome in. Happy Friday. 1. Read all directions several times prior to undertaking the experiment. Be sure you are familiar with every step of the process prior to actually performing it. And remember, safety first. 2. Grind your herb to as small and fine particles as possible. Use a clean coffee grinder if needed when dealing with Hey, I'm back. I almost restarted the interwebs too before I went live. Now I wish I had. I'll do it after this because I'm having a health chat first episode after this at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 3, place the ground herb into your large flask and pour enough distilled water in to cover the herb completely. Soak the herb for 4 hours. Measure the amount of water used so that you will recognize when it has gone over into the receiving flask. 4. Place the large flask over its heat source. Do not allow the water to boil. Watch as white steam clouds begin to form in the upper chamber. 5. When all of the water has come over, leave the large flask on the heat source for 5 minutes, then remove it and allow it to cool. 6. Using a wooden, glass, or plastic dowel or spoon, scrape the herbal mass at the bottom clean. Do not use metal, as it will scratch the glass and weaken it. Grind the mass with a mortar and pestle and place it back into the large flask. 7. Remove any white or dark oil spots that may be floating on top of the distillate. Place them in a small jar for later use. 8. Pour the distillate back into the large flask. Mix it with the ground herb and repeat the process. Leave the flask on the heat source for 5 minutes after all the liquid has gone over to the small receiving flask. Then remove it and allow it to cool. 9. Repeat steps 6 through 8 for a total of 7 rounds. After the 4th round, increase the time the large flask is left on the heat after the distillate has gone over to the small flask from 5 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes. 10. After the 7th round, calcine your herb, which by now will have already begun the process during the exposure to prolonged heat. 11. Purify the salt to as fine a color as possible and recombine it with the fluid you have collected. This is now your alchemical tincture using distilled water. I love that. Saturnian Mod Deep. Oh my gosh. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome in. It is important that you pay close attention to the temperature of your heat source, as the alchemists of old worked at low temperatures to preserve the life force of the plant. This life force is what alchemists seek to capture, concentrate, and use in their healing and spiritual work. We're just to the very end. I knew this was going to be a real short one. Key points. Water is the chief means of transferring energy in alchemy. Next, we have folklore is filled with examples of collecting and using water for healing and magical purposes that parallel Hermeticism. Next is it has been scientifically proven that thoughts and feelings can affect the energetic nature of water and whatever the charged water comes into contact with. And next we have water can be charged through visualization, sound, planetary hours, or herbs. And last key point is distilled water is used in the creation and ingestion of many spagyric products. So general assignments for chapter 5. 1. Practice the exercises outlined in this chapter and record your experiences in your notebook. 2. Charge water, have someone drink it, and ask if there was any change in texture or taste. 3. Charge water and use it to maintain your houseplants. 4. Purchase three roses and place them in separate vases. Use charged water for one and tap water for the second. And for the third rose, add the nutrient powder supplied by florists to the water. Compare the lifespan of the 3 flowers and record the results in your notebook. I love that. And then 5, last assignment for chapter 5. Distill several ounces of water and make an herbal tincture with it. So meditation practices for chapter 5. There are no specific meditations for this chapter. Practice the psychic experiments as outlined and record your experiences. Pay attention to the lunar cycles and your dreams as you undertake these experiments. And that was chapter 5. Dude, thank you for joining me. And if you feel like joining me for hanging out some more, I'm going live in an hour tonight. And my friend Ann Zuber's going to go live with me. We're going to talk about health, and I'm excited about that. So I appreciate you so much. And it's really great to hang out with you all here tonight. And so, yeah, thank you to the YouTube land. Thank you, YouTube and StreamYard, and everyone who comes across this, and to my family. And as always, above all, I thank you, Spirit. I thank you, God. And yeah, let's keep our thoughts, present, and be aware of them, and do it like you feel it. So until later, mwah, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.